I just loaded the wrong replay.
Are you still mad? Don't be mad.
Why do you think I'm mad? You always think I'm mad.
Yeah, because you think I have your tie. This is ridiculous.
You were wearing my tie.
No, I am not wearing your tie. Stop this nonsense. This is getting ludicrous.
Can't believe you would lie to all these people.
I mean, I won't pinky promise on the fact that this could potentially be your tie, but I'm not wearing your tie. Because if I make a pinky promise, man, I'll stick to it. Because you know why? Because Roddy is always on. Anyway,
but you're
guys,
right now saying that you're not wearing my tie.
Yes, I am not wearing.
But you're wearing my tie.
Well, no.
Which is not honest.
I could potentially be wearing your tie if I made an honest, genuine mistake. But I don't think that's the case. Unless my eyes just dwarreled a little bit to the left and saw your hanger there with your shirt and your tie. But I still don't think that's what happened. Anyways, guys, Azubo viOLet is, of course, our purple Zerg spawning on the right top side of Cloud Kingdom. While Epic Soul Strelok, also known as Eugen, is our Ukrainian lovely Terran spawning in the left bottom side of Cloud Kingdom, also known as the Ambitious Terran. If you guys missed this story, once upon a time, I would say around 2011 summer, Strelok put out a video where he said, I will promise to play 30 games a day. I promise to do many push-ups and also promise to go to bed before 11 PM unless I have official match. Ben, as the Ambition Terran, did you think that Strelok achieved his goals?
Well, I don't necessarily think that he did all of those things that he promised. But he has made some pretty good strides, and he's been a consistent...
Oh yeah, he also said he wouldn't drink any alcohol. And then we spoke with Widra, and Widra was like, yeah, so crazy. It's nice. I was like, okay, Alexi.
One thing we can say about Strelok is he's been a consistent contender in all of the European events, cups, tournaments that he's entered and played in. Might not be racking up championships like guys like Nurcio or Stefano, but he's definitely been a consistent finisher in, we'll say, the top 16 of these European events.
Certainly, in the early days of the Wings of Liberty ban, Strelok has won so many online tournaments, as he won so many Zota Cups, so many Go for StarCraft 2s and Play-Ams and all that kind of stuff. And Strelok was one of those guys who always won the qualifiers as well. How many Intel Extreme Masters events did we catch where Strelok was, man? It seems like Strelok was always there, walking around with his backpack and his jeans, with that belt, and then he tucked in his shirt and was like, hello guys, it's me. I was like, oh, Strelok, it's so nice to see you again. But Strelok often qualifies for the events, Ben plays fantastic in the qualifiers, but once he's actually at the main event, it's often not the same Strelok as we see in the qualifiers. Yeah,
Strelok online, a slightly different animal from Strelok at LAN. And there's really, any number of reasons why we could attribute to that.
Yeah. But it's weird because he's also such an experienced player. Of course, for the people who don't know, Strelok is, well, he's not even that old yet. I think he's in his late 20s, maybe 25, 26, or mid-20s, late 20s, somewhere in between. But of course, he has a lot of experience from his Brood War days as well. But go ahead, man.
I have no idea. What do you want me to say?
Hey, you were talking about something before. I said you were talking about his LAN performance compared to his online performance.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like you said, he's won so many online cups. Certainly earlier on in the life of StarCraft, and for whatever reason, it's just not been the same at LAN. And you can attribute that to any number of things. It could be nerves. It could be playing on a different setup. I know that's something that a lot of players really struggle with.
Certainly the Terrans, man.
Well, that's true. I mean, Terran is a race that requires so much extra control and micro and just perfect positioning. Yeah, that was all about that was my problem in my Warcraft 3 days, man. I played such a micro-intensive race that on tournaments I was just often not able to shine as I did online. I mean, I've often heard that Orc was the weakest race. No, actually Orc had like the highest HP units. So, but actually I was always playing Farseer, and Farseer had Wolves and they had very low on HP, so I didn't need to micro those to my defense. But yeah, it's true, man. It's so different playing at LAN tournaments than it is online. And some people, they just, I've seen people. I had a teammate in Warcraft 3 days while we see the openings, man. And we saw quick double refinery, by the way, for Strelok. We should mention that. Now we do see the Tech Lab being added as well on the starport. So things are going to be Reactor Hellion and Cloak Banshees over here from Strelok. Well, I want to say, Ben, I had a Warcraft 3 teammate. He was a very good player. His name was Venkor. Maybe some people out there will remember him. He was from Greece, really strong on that player. He never brought his own setup to events. He just didn't care. Showed up,
played in round 1, played with, let's say, a Razer mouse. Round 2, he borrowed the SteelSeries mouse from someone. Round 3, played with a Logitech mouse. Round 4, a Microsoft mouse. He just didn't care, and I was just standing there like, oh my god. I'm whining about my own setup not feeling the same, and this guy just sits down and plays with whatever people can borrow to him on that moment because he didn't bring his own equipment. It's crazy. Some people can do that. I definitely can.
Right now, Strelok running around with some Hellions. He's tried to find an opening. He did something kind of cute with an eBay, blocking the third expansion of viOLet for a little while. But viOLet didn't seem to mind too much.
Strelok, man. He's kind of committing with these Hellions. He's taking so much damage on all of them. 3 out of 4 are still alive somehow, some way, but they're so low on HP that they don't really pose a serious threat anymore.
These guys have had a rough career, man. They're going to head back home for either some repairs or an early retirement. As Strelok is continuing to tech up, like you said, it is Cloak, it is Banshee tech.
Oh, and he's following it up with the double armory build, man. So we're going to see a little bit of MVP action over here.
Very popular build these days, and it's getting more and more popular seemingly after every TVZ that MVP plays. There's another big one coming up.
There's a really big one coming up, one that I can't wait for.
GSL final, of course. I'm not sure if there's a date set for that yet.
I'm pretty sure there is. I'm not sure. All I know is that the 16th is MC vs Dongregoo in the OSL. So basically that's the 15th for us. It's getting really close. It's basically tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken. At least for us in our time zone.
So much great StarCraft happening around the world.
It's almost not bad. Of course, the WCS Asia Continental Finals going on this weekend as well. Should provide a lot of cool PvPs. As a couple of this Banshee does pick off a few drones, but overall, then viOLet has decent defense setting up, as he has 4 crawlers in every base.
In a little bit of an awkward spot right now. viOLet's running around the map with some Zerglings. Strelok needs a micro. Lings do get in, but good control by Strelok means.
Actually,
I thought he was going to get out of there, but the Lings
it,
did get through, and so now Strelok's going to lose at least a handful of SCVs.
At least this Flighty Poe wall is raised. This Roach Runner has been shooting on this, the Banshee. I'm falling apart, Ben, help me. This Banshee has been shooting on the Roach one during that entire time, as Strelok was busy defending and microing his SCVs. Overall, Ben, he's not in terrible shape, as he is getting closer to having triple orbital, and he's on 48 workers or 47 SCVs against 61 drones, but he already lost the Banshee. He lost so many Hellions that normally, while Zerg has to be so worried right now about losing drones and whatnot, that really hasn't been the case.
viOLet seems aware of what he's playing against. He's getting roaches and roach upgrades. I think that's a fantastic style against this kind of mech play.
Whoa, Hellions running into a bunch of roaches, and the Queen's of course dealing a good amount of damage as well on those Hellions. So far, Strelok as Russ is getting shot down pretty damn hard, and it all looks so easy, Ben, if you're a Zerg player. You're just like, well, that didn't seem very hard. And I have to say, I do think Strelok miscontrolled his Hellions a few times. Overall, superb defense so far by viOLet.
Yeah, fantastic play from viOLet on both sides, both defensively and even aggressively, as he did some damage with his initial Lings, and now he's going to push out again with some roaches.
Well, this is not the best idea, I think, as there are 2 tours on the map already, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm not. There are 2 tours out on the map, and these Banshees will take care of these roaches. Roaches might pick off a few SCVs or a few Hellions, but overall, I'm not sure if this is totally worth it.
I think they're going to kill quite a few Hellions. Well, with Thor's showing up, maybe not. viOLet's going to have to be careful about how he controls this, but just about every SCV in this expansion goes down.
He killed 5.
Must not have been that many, though, because there's only 7 workers.
Yeah, and he had 2 before, so he killed 5 SCVs, Ben, and he lost around 10 to 15 roaches. I think he could have done a little bit more with it. Perhaps on the rest of the amount of Banshees that were on the map currently.
What he does do is he absolutely confirms what he's playing against, seeing the Banshees, the Hellions, and even the Thors. So viOLet can now, I guess, bolster his preparation, as we do see that +1 Roach weapons attack being researched, as well as getting some infestors out.
These small Ling run-by is not really going to be able to achieve a whole lot, as Hellions are in position. Might lose an SCV or 1, 2. He uses Burrow. No. Did he kill?
Strelok spotted it, though.
Did he kill one of his own units to do splash damage on those Lings before he scanned?
I'm not sure.
That's kind of how it looked like, but maybe I'm mistaken.
Neuroparasite going down for viOLet. Very cool. It's a very fun way to deal with Thor play. I'm not sure how viable it is these days, as Neuroparasite has been nerfed a couple times throughout the life of StarCraft 2. At one point, it was it lasted forever.
Yeah, those were the days.
Those were the days, man. Steal a battle cruiser and just keep it.
Walk around the map. It's like having a super badass dog on the leash. You know, it's like, this is my pit bull and it flies.
Yeah, but
imagine going to the park at night and having a battle cruiser on the leash. It's like, okay. Oh, you definitely won't get mocked in the park then.
No, I don't think so.
Yamata cannon ready. Lights go on. It's like, ah.
Hive's also on the way for viOLet. One thing viOLet has not gotten is Overlord drop, and I think that is the hands-down best way to play against this kind of mech style. But he's going to try to do it with...
he doesn't have tunneling claws yet, man. I'm a little bit surprised by that as well.
Oh, that is interesting. That's another very good upgrade. Of course, Strelok has added in a Raven somewhere. Oh, look at this big Infestor attack at the third base. Strelok's pretty out of position for it. He's going to have to scramble to get down there. And this is where mech struggles, and this is where roaches shine in the instances of the immobile Terran army against the much more mobile Zerg army. Huge losses taken to that third base. Command center melted away.
Yeah, the orbital just pretty much fell immediately. Fourth base is going up and pretty much ready though, so Select would perhaps... Strelok could temporarily mine from that if he wants to. Of course, he'd rather just waits until these infested Terrans do expire. There's no need to fight them as they will expire soon anyway. viOLet spent most of his energy, Ben. He only has 7 infested, so if he takes a fight right now, that would go terribly. Strelok, of course, does not know about the amount of infested. He actually has like no map vision at all. Look at the map vision of viOLet. he sees pretty much everything besides his little corner over here. Now he even sees a little bit more because of this burrowed roach. And Strelok just almost sees nothing.
It's a very scary spot to be in if you are Strelok, who is going to go ahead and push out on the map once more.
Yeah, it's going to be a relatively scary push as he has 4 Tors, quite a few siege tanks, and 4 Banshees as well. 2 upgrades are about to get ready, but viOLet wouldn't be viOLet, man, if he wasn't counterattacking.
And just immediately counterattacks, doesn't wait till Strelok is across the map. Attacks as Strelok is leaving, pulls Strelok back. Will break through up here into the main base. These roaches, they're all going to die eventually. The question becomes how much damage can he do if he could kill the armories. That would be huge, as they are researching upgrades, but he's not going to do that. He just wants to take out SCVs.
And he's killing supply depots over here as well with a new wave. He's going to try to pick off a Tor. He will pick off at least one. Whoa, that was close. And then he does have to retreat. Still blocking command centers over here with infested Terrans. Really smart play by viOLet. And you know, the good thing is roaches are so cheap that as long as you have a sick economy, which is obviously what viOLet has, and he's also mining from these extractors at his 4th base, he can keep doing this all day long.
He's still not aware of this base in the bottom right, though, so that does give Strelok a chance, Kev.
Strelok should really drop his mules over here rather than anywhere else.
viOLet has remaxed. He's working on his Greater Spire. He's going to send in another big roach counterattack, and I'm sure that his next remax will be with Corruptors, and ultimately will add in Broodlords.
4 Tor, Ben. He missed on his 2 Tor.
He's the lonely Thor. Oh, wow. viOLet, the fungal on the SCVs. Those guys are all going to go down.
Tunneling Claws is research, has been researched right now, as we can see. He's using it. Meanwhile, though, Ben, Strelok is heading forward, and this is looking pretty scary. He dropped both point defense runs over here. I'm not sure if that was the best choice, as I don't think that viOLet even made a real attempt to save this base.
Yeah, viOLet is forcing the base race right now. He's going to make Strelok completely commit to this. Back in Strelok's base, he's lifted all of his production. He has no real way to build a new army, and all viOLet has to do is come up with an answer. Just eventually an answer. He can kill a couple Thors here, kill a couple Thors there.
He can rally in a sick amount of roaches twice, which he's doing right now for the first time. He picked off 1 Thor, is getting close to picking off the second one. Won't get it, but there are no SCVs here, Ben. So this Tor is so low on HP that the next wave of roaches could kill it. 7 Broodlords did pretty much empty with viOLet's bank though. It's getting a little bit it's getting a little bit closer actually. Of course viOLet still has double the army, and I guess as soon as those 7 Broodlords are ready, with only 2 Tors, there's just not enough anti-air. But it looks a little bit scary.
It looks a little bit scary, but ultimately this is exactly the situation that viOLet wanted to create. He wanted to cripple Strelok's infrastructure and then just chip away at the army until it's gone. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now.
These 2 Tors are all the anti-air that Strelok has right now. 1 Tor is already insanely low on HP. Wow, good move of the infested Terrans there as well. Strelok calls GG, and viOLet takes game number 1 pretty convincingly.
Very, very nicely done there by viOLet. Oh, no, you didn't, Strelok. Oh, no, you did not. Challenge viOLet to a best-of-3.
You know what that game reminded me of, Ben? I'm not sure if we casted that game together or if it was me and Rob Simpson, but it was the Intel Extreme Masters Sao Paulo, where the Muslim played against viOLet on dual side, and it was 1-0 for viOLet, and it looked really, really good for the Muslim, who was playing mech as well on dual side. And he was in a great position, and he even, since viOLet made a funny comment, since viOLet is a super nice guy, and the same goes for Ben, they get along well together. But viOLet said in the interview he was going to go 3-0, and then the Muslim said like, well, we thought he was doing really well in game number 2.
I remember this game.
He's like, so what about 3-0? And then viOLet's like TT, but then he just kept counterattacking with roaches all game long, and eventually did manage to pick the Muslims' mech army apart, and this was kind of similar, even though this was a little bit less close, and Strelok was never in the position that the Muslim was in. But
the ultimate outcome of that series was 3-0.
No, it was 3-2, man.
3-2?
Yeah, like the Muslim totally came back. He played fantastic in game 3 and 4 with Hellions, and in game number 5 was that ridiculous game on Tal'Darim Altar where the Muslim bunker rushed the natural of viOLet, and that game was game over. It was like 100% win for the Muslim, but then viOLet sent a bunch of slow links across the map, and the Muslim didn't have supply depot wall raised, so the slow links walked in the main base of the Muslim and killed him.
Could have been the Muslims' tournament to win then, because viOLet did go on to win Sao Paulo.
He played so good in game number 3 and 4. It was a really nice series. Anyway, a little bit of StarCraft 2 history for you guys.
Our last game between Strelok and viOLet, brought to you by GoToMyPC. Remote access to your computer from anywhere on the planet. You can pick up that fantastic software over at nasl.tv/p/GoToMyPC. We're going to take a quick break. Game number 2, Strelok versus viOLet, when we get back.